Most diets are gonna fail. The question is, how do you pick a weight loss plan that won't fail? I think it's valid to be worried about whether or not the next weight loss plan or diet or whatever you wanna call it is actually gonna work, especially if you're a chronic dieter. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, 49% of adults tried to lose weight by using a diet over the last 12 months. That's nearly half of American adults. In one study, 3 years after people concluded a weight loss program, only 12% had kept the weight off. These are not good odds.
Never tell me the odds.
I'm gonna share with you 4 key elements to bypass those statistics, lose the weight, and keep it off in a sustainable and reasonable way, and finally enjoy the cleanish lifestyle that you deserve. So let's get started. All right, so first off, let's start with developing a healthy mindset around food and fitness. Throughout my own journey and also working with coaching clients, I found that having a good and healthy mindset around food and wellness and nutrition is a key component to actually achieving your goals. And I found that to foster a healthy mindset, it really comes down to 4 parts. Number 1 is to nourish your body, don't deprive it. I can't tell you how common it is to have a coaching client come in and be terrified to eat the food that I'm telling them to eat.
How am I supposed to do that?
I've also struggled with this, thinking that you have to eat less in order to weigh less. Food provides you the energy you need for this journey, and you need to focus on fueling your body so that it can run like the machine that it is. And then number 2 is to foster self-love and identify those negative thoughts. Words matter, and so what you're telling to yourself when you look into the mirror, when you're eating your food, those are really gonna add up, and they can either be negatively or positively impacting your plan. What I like to tell my coaching clients is, imagine you were talking to a friend, someone who's been kind of struggling with her weight, and she hasn't really made the progress she wants to do. Would you tell her, you're so fat, you're disgusting, how can you think that you can ever make this work? Or would you tell her words of affirmation of, look how hard you're trying, look at the progress you made, you deserve this. Think about what you're telling to yourself every time you look into the mirror and you have those opportunities, and stop the negative talk and start implementing more positive words of affirmation. And so that brings me into number 3, which is change your identity. I love this one. What I mean is you need to become your future self. What does the future you think about herself, about food, about energy and exercise, about her potential? So if you can imagine the future version of you who's already accomplished her weight loss goals, she feels great about herself, she works super hard, she stays true to what she says she's gonna do. Imagine that frame and stay there when you're having difficult decisions. What are the choices and thoughts that future version of you make, and do that. And that leads us into having patience. A lot of people want to start at the end or do everything all at once, but that's not how it works. Think about where you're at and how long it took to get you there. So then take that into account when you start to change your behavior. It's going to take you some time to get to where you want. So the next key element is meal planning and prepping. And this one is especially helpful for my busy clients because it's going to help you save time, energy, and mental fatigue. So what I love about meal prepping is that it allows you to make those decisions ahead of time rather than in the last minute when you're hungry.
Stop stressing! Stop stressing!
When you just need food and you're not gonna make the best choices. So what's meal planning? Meal planning is preparing your future self to have the food and motivation it needs.
That sounds awesome.
It takes the thinking out of it. No longer are you starving, standing at the fridge, trying to decide what you're gonna make. If you're tracking your macros, it is so much easier to be able to know exactly what's in the food you have and to also have made it so you controlled what went into it. And actually that also helps with portion control. If you're someone who really doesn't understand when you should stop eating, planning ahead and having your meals already set out for you with the amounts you're supposed to have will help train you to understand the appropriate amounts that you should be eating. And if you're a chronic undereater, which not my problem, normally I'm an overeater.
Does not apply.
But if you're a chronic undereater, it'll also allow you to understand how much you're supposed to have, so you know you're eating the amount that you need if you tend to order pizza because you're hungry, or you stop at the drive-thru on your way home. Meal planning can be very beneficial. So that's the second key element. Not too hard, right? Makes sense? Set yourself up for success?
Makes sense.
Number 3 is consistency is key. You may have heard me say this before. Consistency. Consistently, maybe consistent. The key is consistency. Stay consistent. We want to be consistent. The more you can consistently make the choices that align with your future self, that align with those goals that you're trying to meet, the better outcome you're going to have. But consistency in what? It turns out that you need consistency in 4 main areas.
Why are they called 4?
Number 1 is mindset. This shouldn't come as a surprise. Consistently focusing on having that mindset that aligns with the goals, that has the positive affirmations, doing that consistently. So this is a process, right? So you're gonna have some ups and downs along the way. And it's gonna be important to remind yourself what you're doing it for, what the importance of this is, and how to be better than yesterday every day. Focus on hitting your goals 80% of the time and allowing that itch to come into play every so often. Next is consistency in nutrition. You want to most of the time eat what you're supposed to be eating in order to reach those goals. And so that means when you do have a cheat day or you have a poor choice that doesn't align with that, getting right back on track and making that the little blip in the larger frame of things. Focusing on protein and staying hydrated are also very important to be doing that consistently. Then consistency in fitness is important. So I'm not telling you that you have to go start running miles and miles every day.
You're crazy.
But what I am saying is that it's important to start incorporating daily movement and a little bit of resistance training throughout your week. And personally, I love strength training. It's taught me to be confident and to get stronger and to feel awesome. It's gonna make your body do a few things. Your body's gonna start burning more calories the more you're using it, and your body is gonna start running more efficiently. Remember that machine we were talking about? Well, when you give it the fuel with the food and you use it in the activities like fitness, your body is going to start burning it more effectively and start using it rather than storing it. And the final part of consistency is recovery. And when I talk about recovery, I'm talking not only about not working out every day and not running like crazy, but I'm talking about the time your body needs to actually be at rest. In order for your body to utilize the nutrition you're giving it and the workouts you're doing, it needs time to recover. So recovery includes things like sleep, rest days, and reducing stress. And that means reducing life and work stress and getting those 8 hours of sleep every night. The more consistently you stay consistent, the better outcome you're gonna have. Now, there's probably a whole video here on just how to stay consistent. Oh wait, I have one. Number 4, build a support system. Sadly, it's very common for people in our support system to not want you to change and to try to sabotage you. They could make you feel guilty for changing. They could discourage healthy eating. They might start encouraging small cheats. The important thing here is for you to remember that your goals are for you and not for them. Your positive changes might start bringing up negative thoughts in their heads, and people tend to resist change. So you can honor them that they have these feelings, but also ask for support for you. The more positive you do for yourself, it's going to have an impact on other people. They're gonna see how much happy you are, how better you feel, and they're gonna wanna play a role in that. So there you have it, 4 tips from a weight loss coach who's been there. Develop a healthy mindset, meal plan and prep, consistency is key, and build a support system. So which one are you gonna do first?